Welcome to Read the Room.
Here.
This is episode 13, and the title of this episode is Religion versus Spiritual.
Oh, man.
We're going to talk about, is spiritual the same as being religious? The differences, are they one and the same? But before that, we got a whole bunch of other stuff to get into. I'm your host. I go by E1.
What's up with it? Trey Philando. That's the rumor. We back, baby. What's up, man?
We back, man. I feel good. I don't know why today feels
extra. It's a beautiful day outside, dog.
Yeah, it's sunny. The weather been pretty good. Weather, to me, I don't know if everybody feel this way, but weather affect mood.
What?
In my opinion.
Of course it does.
And I ain't gonna say that rainy days is cool, what I mean? But give me the sun, Slim.
Dog, let me tell you something, man. But I noticed that. But I'm also like, it don't rain like it used to rain, bro. Like,
but you think it rains less?
Yes. I think it rains less.
Less?
Yeah, like we've been having rain recently. But when you look at like the patterns of rain when you was like younger to now, bro, I mean, I think we need more rain for, nature wise. Like my grass, I told you, it's an everyday thing with my grass. So, but look, and then you get so used to it being so beautiful, you're not really taking advantage of the days, really.
Well,
you're so used to it. Yeah, you gotta get out there and, plant stuff.
Talking about the weather. My sister, she from LA. She said that every time she look at the weather, it says it's raining here.
Really?
Yeah.
She said that's not though.
She said that's why she be blown sometimes when she come here. She said because it rains. Because it rains. Yeah.
The weather's different, bruh.
I think it rained a lot,
bruh. Recently.
You know how I know it's been raining too?
Yeah.
Because I haven't had to really water my grass like that.
That's a good thing. What's I about to say about weather?
And it's like it'll rain and then it'll clear out. That's what I like about summertime rain. Like it won't rain always for the whole day.
It's spotty. But the other dope part about this area that we're in, bro, like we're super blessed. Like this little pocket, this little area. Because you look at New Jersey, floods. New York even had a big flood last year. Man, what? Listen, we love our people. I will never live in Florida. I will just visit there. No, Florida people, love y'all. I will never live there. I go visit. We go to Disney World, all that. You got too many hurricanes and goddamn alligator attacks. Nah, I'm good on that. Burmese pythons and all that. Come on, man. We don't have that here. We had a big snowstorm in 2008. We had another big snowstorm in like what?
Yeah.
Other than that,
we had a mini earthquake one year.
We had an earthquake, bro. I thought that was it for me, dog. I was asleep when that happened.
I was at work.
What you doing during that?
I was at work, dog.
What happened to your mental state?
It was just like I was in the office and then I just felt the ground shift.
Bruh.
Everybody was standing there looking. I got my car, Slim. They had evacuated everybody. I'm waving like shit.
You ain't need no evacuation. But hold up. Nah, this the funny part about black people, right? Dog, where were you going?
I don't know.
I just get the fuck out of here. I don't know where I'm going.
You just want to go to the
ground is moving.
No, you want to go to the safest place? I'm going home, dog.
Safest place, nigga. We ain't even used to that. Like,
they had everybody stand outside. It's a fire drill. I was like, man,
the ground is moving.
No, I got my car. Everybody was standing. They was laughing. I waved at everybody. I went the fuck home, man.
I had work, bro. I was just laying down, bro. I thought it felt like, like the washer dryers on like the other side of the wall and it started to shake. I was like, yo, nobody's in the house. Bro, I got up, I looked outside, man. I saw two older dudes, man. One of them jumped out the pickup truck, went up to the other old dude. He was like, was that a fucking earthquake? Right? So I was like, no way. Then it sunk in. I was like, bro, we that's it. We done. That's it. I had a great run. That's how I felt. But anyway, I say all that to say that we are in a great area right now. We don't really get like natural disasters like all that. But yeah, we take advantage of the days, though. Absolutely. Make the days count. Like we made the days count last week. I'm gonna tell you a quick story about how I'm a sucker. Okay. And how I'm a very contradicting person. I say one thing and I do the opposite. I hated on sports parents who travel.
Okay.
I'm like AAU, blah, 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 blah. Now I'm the AAU parent that's going to Pennsylvania and all that. Shout out to Coach Ace who got me into this. You're going to pay for this. So anyway, My son got picked to play on the All-Star team. My youngest son, Cruzy, we were coming off of our three-peat championship run in Charles County. So he got picked to play on a All-Star team. We went to the championship in the Baltimore tournament last month. Came up short to a really good team from Newport News, right? Mm-hmm. These dudes was big, bro. I think they was like 9, but they said they were 7. But anyway, shout out to them.
Flag football.
This is flag football, yes. So and for people that's not really familiar, flag football is probably like the fastest growing sport, especially female side too as well, right? It's going to be in the Olympics. They're giving out a bunch of scholarships now in Charles County for the females, which is awesome. So we went to our second tournament. I was telling my wife, I'm like, yo, no, we good. We're not going nowhere. Right. 2 days later, right? Like, oh, can you guys go to Pennsylvania? Can Cruzy come? So I'm like, how long is the drive? 3 hours? Yeah, we could do it, right? Mm-hmm. Bro, we drive to Pennsylvania. We ball out, bro. Cruzy is the MVP of the tournament, and they win the championship. That's what pulls you in.
Okay.
Right? They got me now. So that's like, yo, can we go to Ohio? Mm-hmm. Right? So I'm like, oh, so we debating the Ohio trip. But the thing with that is you got to make sure that you have all of your players with you. Like, you don't want to go out there with 4 players. You want to go out there with your squad because things can happen. So not sure about that, but the flag season as far as tournaments are coming to a end because we're about to get into tackle.
Okay.
Right? And Cruzy wants to play tackle so bad. And if he plays, he'll be great. But we're not gonna do that.
So you're not. So when you say that y'all not playing tackle, do you mean you're never gonna let him play tackle, or he's too young right now?
I'm gonna go with the second one. I'm gonna say he's too young right now. If Cruzy plays tackle, he'll be playing it maybe at
middle school,
something like
high
that.
School, something like that.
I mean, you know, a lot of these guys, you know, they live through the kids and all of that, but you know, you don't know, you're not that kid. You don't know what type of traumas he's experiencing, you know, smacking helmets and all that. You can call me soft or whatever. I love football. That's just my stance on it. When I started playing tackle, which was very, very brief, it was seventh grade, right? I think 7th grade is a pretty good time, but that's just me. You know what I mean? It's not a debate. That's just how I feel. So if he was to play, it'll be later on. How about you, Ezra? What you think?
Football. So he came to me saying that he wanted to play football one day, and I had never seen him play football, but he was running fast, catching and throwing and all that shit. And I'm like,
size,
okay,
bro. He got good size.
I said, okay, cool, but no, tackle football, not right now. Okay. If he wanted to, as he got really older, and I saw that it was like a passion to him,
right?
Then I probably would consider it. But right now, it would be on me. And Ezra, he don't like the goddamn heat and all that. I ain't got time to mess with him. I see how he is. Like, he play according to the weather, and if the weather's too hot, he just kind of just give up. I ain't going through that shit right now. He too.
My oldest, Shrews, his body size. You see his body size, bro. He played tackle football one year. He was smacking people, bro. He was doing good. I was like, okay, but then the next season, I'm like, True, you trying to? He was like, coach is like, oh, I come pick him up, man. I come put it up. But I'm like, I'm not gonna force my son to do that. If he don't love it, he gonna run up against somebody who live with their grandmother, who ain't met their parents, who this is all they got, and they gonna knock your head off. So it's like you said, you gotta love it. It has to be a passion for you. And parents out there, like, don't just think, and then they just funnel these black kids into just one sport. Like, you got that, like, we got tennis, man. We could do baseball, we could do something else. So real quick. Bro.
What?
My rookie team that I'm assembling. Oh, just wait till I report on that. Anyway, one of this tells you about exposure. So I showed Cruzy one of his teammates that he played basketball with almost 2 years ago.
Okay.
So the kid is a track. He's going to the Junior Olympics. He's a beast, right? My man Zeke, right? Lil Zeke. He's tall. He's tall. He's long, but he's 7. So I showed Cruzy his IG page, 7-year-old with IG pages, right? Cruzy saw him running track. This is just exposure. He sees him running track. He sees his medals, right? He walking with his medals swing. My man Zeke got 4 or 5 medals, right? So then it goes to the next clip and it shows Zeke just flying, right, in a race. Cruzy locked in on it. Cruzy says, "Can I do that?" I said, "Sure, you could do it." So now we're going to look at track.
Yeah.
But it's like we got to expose them to different things. It's not just, oh, nah, you going to just play.
Yeah,
you just going to play what I want you to play. Nah, it's like we just got out of basketball season. We went 5-1. We had a great season. We lost the last game by 2. I didn't play daddy ball, so I didn't overplay Cruzy. Whatever. He sat in the crucial moments, which I never do, but I had to do what I did because of the rotation or whatever. But anyway, he's a great teammate, but just exposing your kids to different sports. You might not have been into it, but it doesn't mean that your kid might not find appreciation for it and have fun and grow in it. Swimming, whatever.
Real talk.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So look, man, another thing. Since you don't let me just start rambling. So look, you always have a nice lineup. Okay?
Try.
Okay. Now, when I used to have hair, I used to have waves. You don't have to believe me. I got pictures, right? I used to have waves. My sister used to get on me. She was like, "You know why you losing?" Oh, this girl used to get on my nerves, bro. Cause my line will be messed up. Cause I'll be moving from here to there, whatever, going to different barbers. She was like, "That's why you losing your hair, cause you going to different barbers all the time, right?"
Yeah.
Hey, bro. Anyway, after I lost my hair, okay, cool, whatever. My lineup with this thing here, mean, right? Bro, I found this fantastic barber, fantastic barber. But the thing with black barbers that also cut celebrities' hair, that's not a good matchup for regular folks, right? This is why. Man, I'll be like, all right, cool. I got things to do later. I move the morning around. I'm about to go see my man, barber, wop. I go there. Halfway there, he hits me like, "Yo, can you come back 2 hours from now? Cause I gotta." He not telling you he bumping you for somebody more important. He just saying, "Can you?" He did that to me one time. I said, "Bro, you know how that made me, dog? It made me feel, bro. I was enraged, but I was like, yeah, you know what I mean." So I did it once, right? He did it to me again. I had True going to him. Nikki got him out of school an hour early, took him up there, right? Halfway there, did the same thing to her. We never went back. You gotta look. Just go to a regular barber. The barber that we got now, my man Brandon, my man B-Tone and Wardorf, that's my man, bro. Like, he never did that to me. Never made me feel everybody equal. These bougie barbers, bro. Have you ever had a bougie barber that will cancel and change your appointment? And we're not gonna talk about the beauticians with the hair, how they do our wives and sisters, how they change them around and all that. How you feel about that?
So 2 things. I haven't had the bougie barber, but I remember when I was looking for a new barber.
Okay.
And I went to about 5 different barbershops, just walked in, right? Now, this is what I wasn't feeling. Each barbershop that I walked in, they would just look at me. I would walk in the barbershop, they just look up.
Right.
Man, I'm here just, you know what I'm saying, trying to find a barber. All the barbers would act like they not taking no new clients. Right? And the only person available is the person who don't get no clients. So you know off the break that your haircut is not going to be good, right?
No, you don't.
So
it's not.
I did this with like 5 different shops. And, and it was all the same. And I'm like, damn, everybody got enough clients that they don't need nobody. Nobody gave me a card.
Right.
Nobody say, "Hey man, come back at this time." Nothing. And I heard somebody else say this. It's almost like a crew or something. Like, if you ain't part of that barbershop crew and they don't know you,
you gotta know somebody to get in.
No, that shit was irritating me. Now the second thing is this. People complain about, this is one thing, people complain about barbers' prices, right?
Right.
Everybody will say, I've seen people say, "Man, I'm not paying $60 for a haircut. I'm not paying $50 for a haircut." I look at it like this. Whatever you charge, that's your choice. If I can afford it or I can't, that's on me. But I'm with the barbers on charging whatever they want to charge. Either you want the haircut,
they want to charge.
Yes, I think that if it's your business, you can charge what you want to charge. Now, does that mean that you might limit your clients? Maybe. But if you feel that your haircut is worth $50, who am I to tell you it's not? Either I can say I'm a fuck with you, or I can say that I'm not. But I believe in just because every day, right? We go to work. And at the end of and at the end of the year, you get job evaluations, and sometimes based on your job evaluation, you may get a bonus, right?
Yeah.
Cost of living every year. You might get an increase just on cost of living, or you may get a higher grade at your job. But when you're a barber or a beautician, you have to make that yourself. So it ain't fair for the world to move and everything get more expensive. The supplies get more expensive. Cost of living gets more expensive, but I gotta stay cheap at my rate for you. I don't believe that.
I agree with you. But you better be like that.
I feel
you better be him. If I know I'm going to charging Tony, you know, nigga always name Tony. What's some black dude's name Tony? Hey dog, Tony got to pay child support. Tony be in the barbershop all the time. Hey, I ain't never not met a barber named Tony. But no, my barber, man, we love him. We've been going in for about 6 years, bro. Never faked on me. And my man, dog, but I really wanted it to work, bro. You ever want it to work, then it don't work, dog?
Bro, I actually, dog. Another thing, barber relationships, man. I had to leave my barber, and I'm a loyal person, man. Yeah. And that don't hurt me like I left a girl or something, man.
So you left him because of what?
I left him because he was a little too, it was like you had to pay cash.
Okay.
You know, he wasn't kind of with the times with you know what I mean? Cash app and stuff like that.
I gotta go to the ATM machine. I gotta break change.
I had to bring cash. And then for some reason, his haircut started to kind of fade.
No way.
And he only really cut on the weekdays.
Oh.
And so when you add all of it up, I was loyal for as long as I could be. I tried to give him a hint. It was hard to be face to face and say,
because they touch you. They're emotional.
No, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't go in and say, hey man, I just want to let you know, found a new barber. And I'm gonna be going, I couldn't do that.
Got a story.
So let me tell you what I did. So this is what I did, right? So he also used Beijing. For those who don't know, y'all always talk about the black paint. What's the difference between enhancements and Beijing? Beijing is more where it's like, I don't know, more like a dye kind of thing. But the enhancements is more like a spray.
Mm-hmm.
He was using Beijing. That was his thing. But he hadn't, to me, gotten to the times where you're just using the enhancements to spice up your joint. So I said, I was about to do a video. So I knew I was going to do a video. The camera going to be close on me.
Yeah.
I want the enhancements.
Yeah.
So the barber that I went to, he used to work where he knew him.
Yeah.
So I went to him, and when I came, and I just brought Ezra for a haircut.
Okay.
And he said, such and such got you right. I said, yeah, man. I said, you know, I wanted to get the enhancement because I got a video coming up.
Yeah.
That was my way of kind of saying, like, I'm probably gonna start fucking with him.
Yeah.
But I couldn't say the word.
Oh, hey, dog.
So let me tell you.
Finish it up.
So look. So I end up getting another barber. But they all know each other. It's all love at the end of the day. And I made a mistake and called his phone.
Oh.
And so no, he made a mistake and called me.
Okay.
And I called him back and he didn't pick up.
Okay.
So I'm thinking to myself, he probably feel away that I left. You know what I'm saying? Okay. But it had to happen, bro.
Dog.
You know?
Dog. T Streets is a ruthless killer. I'm gonna tell you why. That's our man T Streets. So we used to go to the same barbershop, right? When I used to have hair, bro. Don't look at me like I ain't had hair, bro.
I know you did. You know what, dog? Some people who go bald early, man, you probably had that curly shit, man. Sometime when the nicer hair you had, that shit'll leave you early, bro.
Damn, that was a nice.
So I believe you.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate it.
Cruzy got the curls and all. I believe.
Hey, don't get me started. I don't know where he got that from. Let me shut up. I was about to say something crazy. So look, me and T, we was, you know what I'm saying? T was going to my man for a long time. So my man, he went. Where was? I'm not gonna say. I almost said his name. So his chair was like three chairs down. As soon as you walked in, right? So you had to walk past 3 barbers to get to the third chair. So you had to walk past 2 barbers to get to the 3rd chair. Bro, one day T walked in that joint, but he was telling me beforehand, he was like, yo, my man joint ain't what it used to be, right? Bro, okay. T walked in that same barbershop one day, right? He had this joint set up. He walked 2 chairs in and sat down in the dude chair right next to his old barber. Bruh, he left out of there like it was nothing. He told me, he was like, yeah, Trey, I started going you know what I'm saying? Same dude that he went to, another story, right? The dude that T went to used to cut my hair. Okay. My man, I love him. He's my brother. Let me tell you how cool he was. So, bro, one day, bro, I was on Pennsylvania Avenue. I stopped in this other barbershop, and I got my hair cut by this one dude, Fred, all the way back in the corner. Rest in peace to Fred, bro. Fred was so dope. Man, I came out of there looking different. My hair looked so good that my man that cut it saw it. He saw it. He was like, yeah, that look good. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like he get that respect. But it's hard though. It's like
hell yeah, dog. That shit feel weird, bro.
It feel, bro.
Dog, that shit feel weird.
When
dog.
You find a good barber, especially for you and for your son, you never leave.
Dog. Well, I'll say this. The barber that I was with, it was over 12 years. So
12 years.
I did enough in terms of my loyalty. That's the point enough because I really wanted to switch before that. So, you know, it's just how it go.
Yeah.
And to be honest, it's funny. The person who cuts my hair now, my barber used to be so packed, right? He used to have so many people that I would go in there, he'd be like, E, why don't you get my man to cut you? And his man ended up being the person who's my barber now. So, you know, it's all love at the end of the day.
A lot of barbers are not cool like that.
Yes, they not. So, you know, that's how I go.
And but no. And just in closing, y'all not going to change. You're going to do what you're going to do. But just, if you got a entertainer coming to town and he call you out the blue, bruh, you gotta be like, dog, and you already got people that you already know that's coming, bruh. Just show them that respect, bro. Take care of them, bro. Like, don't change daytimes and all that. You gotta get off work to pick their kids up and all that. Just show them a little bit of respect. We won't talk about you on the show, but we're gonna have some females on here talking about their horror stories about hairstylists.
Hey, they probably got way more horror stories than we got for the barbers.
What?
For sure.
So listen.
Well, that's a good segue.
So listen, go ahead to that because this is a good segue. That's a good one.
We're talking about women. So for the first time, feel about
this topic first before you talk about it.
It made me think. I see it. So for the first time, in 2023, there were more births among women 40 and older than there were to teenage girls. Said the trend, which aligns with both long-sought public health goals of decreasing teen births while reflecting medical advancements, which have allowed older women to have healthy pregnancies. So they're saying, of course, I guess when it comes to like teenagers, they ain't say nothing about abortions, but I'm assuming that probably a lot of abortions kind of go down. I mean, happen. And women are having babies a little later in life. And they're saying that it could be because there's a variety of reasons. One is finances. Everything is so expensive. People don't want to have kids
early.
Now when you have a child late in life, with technology, there's a great chance of you still having a healthy baby in early ages. Early age.
And it should stop. It should stop women. This is me going into my mood swing. It should stop the thought process of you having to thinking you have to rush to have kids by a certain age. Oh, because my eggs and all this. First of all, you don't know what the hell about your damn eggs. Women get pregnant in their 50s now. Nikki was on the forum. The lady was 51. Her husband was 55. The lady said that she had some type of the surgery to prohibit, kids pregnancies. She still got pregnant at 51, right?
Okay.
And she gonna have her baby, you know what I'm saying? But it's just like, I think that women have for so long been in that mindset that I have to have a baby by this particular age, but you're not even in a relationship. You're not married.
Yeah, they don't care about that shit. No.
Yeah, they don't, like, you don't care. Like, it'll be, you see a female on IG, right? And like 6 months later, like her stomach is like out the head. You don't see her with no man, no wedding
baby shower, nothing.
Like, yo, no baby shower. I'm like, yo, you were just. I was about to say something. I was about to incriminate myself. But look. But anyway, I'm just saying this. We're saying this based off of the data. For the first time ever, more women in their 40s, and more women in their 40s is looking like women in their 30s too. Like,
shit different.
We see why you know what I mean. You still active, but just like, look, man, just give yourself time, but don't think like you have to do something by a certain time because you could like block your blessing by doing that. You could have met a great guy at 38. You know what I mean? And got married and all that. But you rushing to have kids, 33 with a dude that you met, you know what I'm saying? And then he gone, and now you got to raise a baby by yourself. And
well, have you thought about this though? So
what?
that is one thing to that is good that people are waiting. Or I guess maybe, you know, at teenagers, I don't think it's less sex being had. I just think that
you just think that.
You know what I'm saying? I just think that you know, I guess when you're young, you probably will have an abortion or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, my only thing is this. I think it's dope to have kids when you're established at an older age and everything like that. But if you ever thought about the portion that the older you are when you have a child, the longer that they have with you. So if you have a child at 50,
the shorter that they have,
the shorter.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have a child at 50, if the lady is 51, that means that you're 50 years older than your kid.
Yeah,
so that means when your kid is 20,
you 70.
You're 70, right?
Yeah, but your kid gonna be mature as shit.
I mean, yeah, I mean, yes, but
I'm in the library like a motherfucker.
But I'm playing. So that's the only thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I got you.
And I don't think that
you want to be able to be active with them. I got you.
You do. It's like, I don't know. It's like the yin and the yang. I think at any age it's a blessing, but it's like if you do have a child at older age, you definitely should make sure that you should be so established to the point that you can make sure that when you pass away, that they're good.
Of course.
Because they're going to experience you passing away 9 times out of 10
early
at a young age for them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just the caveat to it. That's just the other part of it where I think it's a blessing to have a kid whenever you have one, but that is something to think about.
So do you think that 40 is too late?
Nah, not at all.
How about 45?
Nope.
How about 48?
I don't think there's a too late. I'm just giving something to think about.
60 is a late.
I mean, of course, but I just mean like I would never tell somebody at this age you shouldn't do something. I'm not going to be the person to say that. I'm just saying that that's just something to think about when you do have kids older. They're going to experience you. I mean, you can have a kid young and then you pass away. Anything can happen in life, right? But I'm just saying that if you're healthy and life goes normally, your child will experience the death of you while they're young.
True. And when I speak, like when y'all see me like in that, I came up in a single parent like household, you know what I'm saying? And we struggled, you know what I mean? We had love and everything, yeah, but we listen, that's why I'm pro marriage, man. I'm super pro marriage. Like, yeah. And people meet people and the things don't work out. I get it, marriages end. I understand that. But you have to try to look at yourself, better yourself, put yourself in a position where when you have a child, you have help. You have a stable partner. Because you just thinking that you just get pregnant and raise a baby alone and we good and all that, that's a selfish type of mindset because you didn't even try to get the foundation this way for the kid. You just thinking about you, right? And then the kid got to grow up. So anyway, birth rates among women over 40 increased 193% between 1990 and 2023. 193%, rising from 1.2% of all births to 4.1%. Specifically, the rate for ages 40 to 44, 40 to 44 jumped 127%. Right. And after 45 years old, it jumped 450%. So it's like people still like, yo, we still getting it in. And then a lot of y'all back in those days when you was 45, you wasn't thinking about you was gonna get pregnant. You think that your eggs is, you know what I mean? And people still, you know what I mean? But when I was younger though, like I didn't have a lot of friends who had parents that were like super old. Like most of the parents You know what I mean? They were like 30 or whatever. But I'm just saying, look, I still would say, hey, if you're 47, man, you a man, you're a woman, and y'all meet at 47. Have at it. Like y'all can reproduce, and then that'll be dope. But I just don't like people just thinking that they can do it themselves, and I just need the man for the eggs and all that shit.
Well,
I hate that.
So I would say I will be the devil's advocate to what you're saying about that. Sometimes what happens is in our life we envision how we think life gonna go for us.
Right.
That happens to all of us.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, maybe sometimes it does, but even if it does, there's a lot of twists and turns in it. And a lot of times things don't go the way that you want them to go. And if they do go the way you want them to go, it's not the timeline that you expected.
Okay.
So sometimes women they envision being married at a certain age and the picket fence, and sometimes life don't work out that way.
Right.
So then they left like, well, damn, I don't have a husband. I'm not really dating right now, but I always wanted a child. And they have it where now you can have a child without having a husband and a man, right? And so is it a selfish thing to say, well, you know what? I didn't find anybody to have a child with, but I want a child. And then you have that choice. And sometimes women waited. I'm 45. I haven't met my husband. I haven't met anybody.
That's why I give you a pass.
And then I want a child. So I'm going to have a child.
I'm going to give you a pass.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's the other part.
But you're not doing that at like 31 and 32 and all that. 45, I give you a pass.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I guess I can give you.
It's so many different dynamics and situations. I'm gonna
get up in the comments on that one.
That people not really, in these days, it seems like people not really tripping off being married. Marriage is not how it was when we were growing up. That's not the most important thing. And then I'm not saying women don't want to get married, but they definitely don't let their lives be held back. They keep it moving. Dating is crazy. People are very shallow in what they want, what they think they want, they deal breakers and all that. So you got all that mixed up. The younger generation travels more. They want to see the world. We want to see the world. We'll get back to having a family and kids. You know what I mean? So it's so many different dynamics that happen in these situations that cause, pregnancies at different ages. But I will say this, I'd rather a person I think it's better for a woman to have a child older than a teenage.
If you're alone.
Well, not even alone, but if you rather than teenage pregnancy. Like I'm glad that teenage pregnancy is lower than it used to be.
This says that teens are having less sex though.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Less sex?
Yes, less sex.
I don't believe that shit.
Distractions now than ever before. You on your phone. We did shows, we're going to do more shows, but about just the men and dating and how they see themselves. And like people find more enjoyment doing things inside the house alone. Like we read statistics about that 2 years ago. But it literally said that they're having less sex now. Teenagers, are y'all having less sex? This is what this says now. I don't know who they poll.
Okay. Hey, I ain't no teenager. I don't know, but I don't know either.
Hey,
I thought that
they said they having less sex.
Okay. Hey, well, maybe
I was gonna read it, but I didn't know how long you wanted to go on this one. But I can get into the research of and numbers. You want me to get into the less sex numbers?
Maybe they putting it in the food, man. Cause
what they making them?
Because
what did they say, bro? See, you're thinking about when you were a teenager.
No, I'm just saying that's all teenagers be thinking. Well, I was speaking boys though. You know what I'm saying? Like
it says, okay, boom. Look, check it out. Teens are also having less sex. The share who'd ever had sex fell from the teens. Talked about stats. It fell from 51% in 1988. to 42% by 2017.
Oh, that's
okay. So yeah, it just whatever. They probably polled a certain amount of people.
Man, that's the truth.
But it fell 9%, which is also going to lead to less unplanned pregnancies. You know what I mean? And we knew a lot of. I knew females when we were teenagers who were pregnant. You know what I'm saying?
I had this girl when I was in 8th grade was
eighth grade.
Yeah.
I see what I'm saying? So look, 40-year-olds, first of all, y'all fine as hell in y'all 40s. Y'all looking like y'all in y'all 30s. Y'all on TikTok. You know what I'm saying?
In the gym.
Y'all in the gym. But it's just like, listen, man, just choose you a good partner, man. Like, it's tough out here, especially alone with a child. But social media, boy, you see a girl that you've been following for a year, 6 months later, bro, she about 8 months pregnant. I'm like, wait a minute, right? Then 2 months later, she got the baby, and it's just her and her mother there helping her and shit. Yeah. I'm like, yo, where's the man?
That's like that almost seems like it almost seemed like the norm. I don't know.
Norm, bro, but that I don't know. Maybe I'm just setting my ways, Playboy. But
maybe we old school.
And you know what? Those women who intentionally do that, those be the best moms, bro.
Well, let's get into today's topic. Now, today's topic, we're gonna talk about religion versus spiritual. And it's funny because I didn't know how many people felt like they were spiritual until I started, scrolling on social media like that. And it just seems like I see a lot of posts of people saying, "Nah, I'm not religious, I'm spiritual. Nah, I'm not religious, I'm spiritual." Now, I don't know. I mean, to each his own, right?
Okay.
So before we even get into about that, let me read.
Go ahead.
Let me read.
Go ahead.
What religious is, and then what spiritual is.
Good.
All right. So religious is belonging to an organized system, a tradition, shared rituals, a community, doctrine handed down by an institution. Spiritual is a personal sense of connection to something greater, meaning transcendence, the sacred, without necessarily needing a group or a rule book.
Okay.
So that's the difference between religion and spiritual. They're saying religion is like if you're a Christian or if you're Seventh-day Adventist or Muslim. And I guess spirituality is you don't categorize yourself, and I guess you meditate and stuff like that, right? I don't know. And I don't know what it's like. My thing is I don't think it used to be that way. So my question is like, what deterred people from being religious? Because that's all I hear now. Yeah, I'm spiritual. I don't need to go nowhere to pray. That's
I'm gonna go back with me when I was younger, right? I grew up like I was saying, single parent. My grandmother was really religious, gospel on all day, things like that. And that's just what it was, right? Disciplinarian. But I wasn't going to church. You know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't being taken to church and things like that. And then when it'll be me, my mother, and my sister, we weren't going to church like that. And it really wasn't emphasized. And I remember my mother took us to East Orange. We were in Jersey at that time. She took us to East Orange to this church, and I guess the Holy Ghost, was happening. And me and my sister was looking at each other like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, it's about that time. We gotta, you know what I'm saying? We were scared, right? We didn't know about this. Then my mother had a pastor or a young lady, a religious lady, come to the house. And when I tell you that me and my sister laughed as this lady was trying to pray, we weren't connected, okay? Because it really wasn't emphasized, right? So that was my introduction to it. It really wasn't a lot of church going, but I still knew of religion based on what my grandmother would talk about. She always be on the couch with the Bible. Even when she sleeps, she had the Bible in her lap, and she had that switch on in the other hand, because we out here doing something crazy. But I wasn't really introduced to it on a weekly basis, bro. Of course, I knew of it, but it was loosely, right? How about you growing up as a young kid?
So growing up,
your family,
my father's side of the family, I would say that they weren't religious. I don't know if they were spiritual. I don't, back then it wasn't no religious and spiritual, whatever, right?
Okay.
So, but my mom's side of the family, I would say was religious. So I would say that I wasn't a person I wouldn't say that I grew up in the church.
Okay.
But at the same time, I did attend church a lot through the years, you know what I mean? But we wasn't going to church every single Sunday. But I knew God. I was taught about the Bible, God, religion, being Christian, and all those things. But what tends to happen is when you're young, I felt like that I listened to what was told to me. So instead of like reading the Bible and stuff like that, I'm going off the things that my mom is telling me that the Bible says.
Okay.
And when I'm young, I'm not fact checking or I'm not questioning anything. I'm just being, told. But what happens is as you get older, as I got older, I started to have questions or things that just didn't make sense to me. You know what I mean? Like, well, I hear you, but that don't make sense to me. And what that does, and I think that happens to a lot of people, it makes you start to do your own research. So to go back to what you were saying, I would say, yeah, I did grow up religious, but not where it was like crucial. Like it was enough for me to know God and be in church, but it's not like I said, I wasn't going to the choir and going to the separate stuff that church, stuff that the activities churches may have inside the church. I wasn't like that, but I did go to church a lot. I would say that. So
yeah, about that, it was a study that was done. It was 25. It was in Canada. 25 people who were raised in a religious household, right? So out of the womb, this is what we do. This is who we worship. This is what it is. Versus 25 people who did not grow up in a religious household. And so they studied, they talked to them from when they were, hey, talk to me about your childhood without a heavily religious influence up until now as an adult. The people that grew up in a religious household, they were saying that as they got older, you said the exact same thing that they said. They said, well, as we started to grow and ask certain questions, because we saw through life experiences, things weren't adding up. So some of those people, they'll grow to either change their religion or realize, like, you know what? I think I'm an atheist because I generally don't believe in any of that stuff, right? Versus the people who grew up without it, they found it later because it filled the voids of life because they've already experienced life. Oh, I visited this I went to church with this person. He's a Christian. That those ideals help me to fill the voids that I have. So I'm that. Or I'm Baptist or whatever. But when you said it, I thought about that study. I did, of course, I did attend church. I attended church with Weekend, right? Like he would take, and I envied him. I had a parent envy of him. I think I told him this maybe. I envied that he had, in a good way, not like a jealous way, like, yo, that's dope. That's dope to me. So he took me to church with him. I have been to church loosely, but those were, and that was at my teenage years. At the same time, I still wasn't like, oh, I have to go back. I have to go back. I have to go back. We went a couple times, but it really wasn't something that was emphasized. Then as I continued to grow, you would know people who went through a lot of stuff in their life and you personally know them. And you know, like the type of person that they weren't a great person, but now that they're a newly, you know what I mean? This, they don't really talk about what they used to do, but like being, you choosing that religion later on in life, it gives you a clean slate and to them. Right. Like you're a new person and things like that. So seeing people that was super duper close to you and your relationship really wasn't that good. They could have been a hypocrite. They could have said this and did that. And now that they're conformed and they're living this type of life, you still didn't get to that point where your relationship is solid. Right. And it's just like, well, I feel like the contradiction of that as well. Like, okay, you're perfect now to your new church, but to me, you know what I mean? You weren't there, right?
Mhm.
And you might feel them putting on an image, a different image for, you know what I'm saying, for the church folk. So I think like a lot of people go through that, and that's where the disconnect is, especially with like younger people.
Well, I'm gonna tell you about.
Mhm.
So what I've seen is sometimes that.
Did I explain that well?
Yes, that was very good.
Got it.
So I'm gonna tell you a couple things. So the first thing is sometimes what I think is we have an expectation. Sometimes when you're a Christian and when you read the Bible, you have certain expectations of what God or what you feel is supposed to be done for you. And sometimes when that doesn't happen, you feel like all of it's BS. So it was a lady, and I was scrolling on TikTok, and she was trying to get pregnant. And she felt like God promised her that she would get pregnant.
Okay.
And she had like 6 or 7 miscarriages. And after the last miscarriage, she was heavily in the church, heavily a Christian. And after her 6th miscarriage, she felt like God didn't fulfill his promise to her. And that made her say that I'm no longer a Christian. I'm no longer with anybody. Me and my husband now, we're spiritual. We do our own thing.
Got it.
Because her life didn't go the way that she felt like it should go.
Okay.
Now me, that's just a separate story, but I would just give you an example of why you have to do your own reading. Because when I was growing up, right, and these are the things that made me just think. When I was growing up, my mom told me that if you didn't like confess Jesus to be who he is, you would go to hell.
Okay.
Right. So that's what I was told. So growing up, that was how I would think. That's what I thought. Right. But then I met this Muslim girl. Now, when I say Muslim, I'm not well versed in what type of Muslim she was. Right. But I'll say that she was from Egypt. She was Yemen, and she had to come over here when she was 16. When she came over here, she always wore the hijab. I mean, the whole 9.
Right.
Spoke Arabic, and all that. Right. So when you're a Muslim, you're not supposed to, like, a Christian man is a Muslim woman can't talk to a Christian man, but a Christian man can talk to a Muslim woman, right? So we weren't supposed to date. She was very into her faith. She would pray to 5 times a day. I mean, the whole thing. But we ended up dating. And by us dating, I learned her culture. I learned so many things about her. She had a beautiful heart. And it just made me think to myself, so you telling me that a woman who grew up in Egypt, she was raised to be Muslim, she has a good heart, she lives for God or the God that she knows, and because she's not a Christian or because she doesn't confess Jesus as the Savior, that she will burn in hell? And that just didn't make sense to me.
Right.
And that made me start thinking like, well, I don't know, because then I start thinking like this, right? If you're born in, let's just say, China. And in China, they're let's just say, for example, you weren't raised around any Christians.
Right.
And the only thing that you know is being like a Buddhist, right? Now, I don't know if that's how China is, but I'm just giving an example.
Right.
And you grow up to be, Buddha is your person, and that's how you grow up. But you never learn about Christianity or anything like that. You're going to die? I mean, when you die, you're going to burn in hell?
Right.
That's just crazy.
That's what it is.
That just don't sound right. So I'm saying that to say the part about when you get older, you start to question things and you want to do your own research, right? Now, I'm going to take it to sometimes where it can be, to me, I feel like this, right? So tell me this, right? When in order to grow in life, you have to do what? You have to put in work. So if I want to get better at basketball, I have to practice every day. If I want to get better at drawing, being an artist, I have to draw every day. If I want to elevate my education, I have to go to school. I have to get a degree. I have to study.
Build that toolbox.
Right? But sometimes when it comes to religion and being spiritual, people act like you just are that and that's it. So you got to put work in everything else that you do in life. But when it comes to being spiritual or religious, you don't have to put in any work.
You don't have to put
So
the work
my thing is this. I think that some people really do feel like they're spiritual, right? But I also think there are people that say that they're spiritual as an excuse. It makes it easy to say I'm spiritual so I don't have to go to church every Sunday. It makes it easy for me to say I'm spiritual so I don't have to participate in nothing that the church is going on. It's easy to say I'm spiritual so I can say, man, I don't mess with people in church because them same people do this and do that. It's easy to say you spiritual when you don't have to put in no work.
Yeah. That's exactly.
Are you spiritual? Or is that just something for you to just make yourself feel good?
I feel, and I'm speaking from the person that's going to be answering you, who says that they're spiritual. Yeah, because I went to that church. They all about money over there. I went. My grandmother been telling me all this stuff, and she been doing the opposite for 25 years. My aunt's an alcoholic, and she been going to the same church. This one over here sleeping with the pastor. Then they got a new pastor. She's sleeping with him. So I'm like, nah, I'm good with being spiritual. I'm a good person. You feel what I'm saying? I don't judge anybody. I volunteer. From an individualistic standpoint, I'm good with not claiming anything.
Well,
because I work with I work with these people. I went to school with these people. And yeah, there's that it seems confined. It seems like I'm in a box. But the type of individual that I am, and I've seen these people cussing, smoking, whatever they say that they're not supposed to be doing. I've been around them while they're doing it, and I'm not judging them.
Well, go ahead. You are judging them. How? That's the first thing. We all judge. Right?
No, you're not judging. You can see it.
You are. You are judging. It's not.
And I choose not to do that just because you do it.
We all judge. It's human nature. We can say we don't, but we all do. That's human nature, right?
I'm saying I'm not judging you for smoking. You know what I mean?
And the thing is that sometimes you have to understand too that people are people. Because you go to church don't mean that you don't sin.
Absolutely.
Because you go to church don't mean that you're not going to do nothing you're not supposed to do.
Absolutely.
Sometimes people do is they'll put a pastor on a pedestal. Yes, as a pastor, you do have a high responsibility. The pastor is still a human.
Right.
So it's unless it's just something ridiculous. If I'm going to church, it's for me. Am I getting the word, and am I receiving the word? I'm not going to look at when the pastor leave, do he go to the club and all that?
He left the Rolls Royce.
Am I receiving the word? Because people are going to people. So yes, you can go to a church, but there's millions of churches. You go to a church home that you're not feeling, and you go up the street, and it's another one you're not feeling. But if you continue the journey, you're going to find a good church home. Absolutely. If that's what you're in search for.
Man, look. So I can have that mindset and still go to a church and have a great time. That's me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, yo, like I can go to your church, bro. When I hear them sing, when I hear the choir singing, bro, when I hear gospel music, just in general, man, I start to cry depending on the song because it touches your spirit. It touches you. It still touches you. I could not be in church for 5 years and hear some old Kirk Franklin, bro, and just tear up because you feel it, right?
For sure.
So I would go from that standpoint, where I've had a bunch of different friends. I grew up with a lot of different people, from different walks of life, and I never cared to ask them what their religion was, right? But some people will find out, oh, he's a so and so, so he's this. Oh, he's a so and so, so he's this. This is his belief. I never subscribed to that. So jumping back into what you talk about, me being on the spiritual side, right? When someone says I'm spiritual, not religious, they are usually making a distinction between personal faith and organized religion. Below is a detailed argument that talks about the strongest case of the position. So if you were to ask me, I would say I'm more on the spiritual side, just based off of
well, not to cut
my life experience. Go ahead. Ask me the question.
So when I'm looking it up, some people are spiritual and they don't believe in God, and some people are spiritual and they believe in God. So when you say spiritual, what do you really mean by that?
I definitely believe in God or a higher power, something beyond this world. Of course, something beyond this world. At the same time, I don't have that connection where somebody could go every single Sunday and just, be in a church home and do that. But I admire people who do. I know people who do. Pastor Hall, he married me and Nikki, right? Mm-hmm. This man, this guy is, I can just being around him, I know that this man has a relationship with God. Mm-hmm. Just his light, like he radiates when he talks. He's just a wonderful, warm person. This man called me out of the blue one day, and we spoke on the phone for almost 4 hours. He was like, man, talk to me about your relationship with your dad. Right? And he just let me just talk. But every time I'm around this man, he reminds me of who he is, his relationship.
Okay.
Right.
So what holds you back though?
I mean, I go, but
why
it's
don't
just
you want
not.
to church?
It's just not. It's just not. I mean, I go to church. Let's not make it say like that. But you're talking about the every Sunday,
but consistently.
It's not something that I feel I need to do, because I feel like my relationship is my relationship. I know I've been prayed for. Let me tell you.
So let me ask you
by people who have better relationships.
Let me ask you, do you work on your relationship with your wife? Do you think you work on that?
Of course.
So why do you think that you don't need to work on a relationship with the higher power?
I think that I work on the relationship by the type of person that I'm being.
That's how you work on it?
Yeah. If you are like, right from wrong, and you know what I mean, you speaking life into people, that's an extension of it. Mm-hmm. That if I'm out here, you know what I'm saying, robbing people and then going to church, you know what I mean? Like you know what I mean? It's how you moving, and you can influence somebody, and you can affect somebody in a great way instead of infecting them, because you could be telling them, oh, I go to church, I'm in Bible study, and they see you doing the most wild stuff in the club, at work, whatever. So I'm like, damn, I grew up around a lot of people like that. Mm-hmm. So naturally, I might have some reservations, but still at the same time, if you say, Trey, let's go to church tomorrow. If I'm not at work, I'll go, and I'll have a great time, right? And I might come back a couple of times, but that's just me personally. But now, if my wife, extremely not extremely, that's a stretch, man. This lady Bible, she reminds me about her notes that she takes, how she prays and things. This has been consistent for 14 years, right?
Do you pray?
I think that I used to pray a lot. But listen, that's a great question. That's a great question. When I literally was on my knees praying, bro, you know what I would pray for, bro?
What?
To be in my right mind. And I was so serious about that. So when we talk now, when we pod, I'm like, bro, I'm just so blessed. I know I'm blessed. I know I'm blessed, bro. And I'm extremely thankful, and I go out my way for people, bro, and I love people. So I know that I'm walking the right walk. I'm doing the right thing. So when I tell you, I'm like, bro, just being in your right mind, you can do anything. So I know that is from a higher power. It ain't just me.
So for me,
yeah,
I pray every day.
That's good, bro.
I've had a lot of spiritual experiences in my life that make me be a believer, and not just a higher power, but just God, right?
Yeah.
I've had beautiful experiences in church. I remember that I would go to church, and when they call you to the altar, every time they would call, right, I would be like, I ain't going up there. I ain't going up there for years. I ain't going up there. I ain't going up there. One day I was in church, regular day.
This is at what point in your life?
This is maybe 8 years ago. 8-9 years ago. I'm in church, and the pastor finishes. He finishes his preaching.
Yeah.
And after every service, they want to call the people up who want to give their life to Christ.
Yeah.
So it's a regular time, and he starts calling people, saying, they play the music, and if you want to come up. and a voice told me, go. And I'm gonna be honest, I blinked, and then when I opened my eyes, I was in the front of the church.
Okay.
I had never experienced nothing like that in my life.
Okay.
I was crying. And it was the most feeling that, I mean, I don't even know how to explain.
It was strong, it was powerful.
The feeling that it did and gave me, and it's like it wasn't me. Like my plan was to never go up there for years. But something made me. That's crucial. I experienced that. You know where?
Where?
In church. Right. Now, I'm not here to condemn anybody. I'm not here to tell anybody what
Sound
to
like
do.
you crushing me right now.
How you feel? Not at all, bro, because I'm not I'm not in church every Sunday. I'm not a part of no church activities. Okay. I'm not about to sit here and fake on anything like that.
Finish that.
But I do believe in fellowship.
Okay.
I do believe being amongst people who believe the same thing that you believe.
Okay.
And I do believe in church. I do.
I believe in it as well.
Now, in terms of people that go to church and act the same way, that's every day, all day.
True.
Then you got people who don't go to church at all and are just really good people, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It all encompasses. But the bottom line to what I'm just saying is that if everything in life takes work, I've never had anything in life that I didn't have to put some work in for.
Absolutely.
Period.
Absolutely.
Being spiritual or going to church, it takes work too, dog.
Yeah,
bro. That's all I'm saying.
Bruh. Let me tell you something. So I feel that energy from you though. Like what you just talked about. Like I feel that energy. You're a very peaceful person. You're a real person. You're a very kind person. This guy is a fan. You want a friend like that, right? And so I think that we're able to do this pod and to have a relationship because we both have our boundaries, we have guardrails, we have responsibilities. I think that's because, listen, you know, our grandmothers prayed for us, our family prayed for us, and so when I speak, I'm always speaking from a lovely place, a lovely standpoint, and I'm gonna speak from the religion aspect now. I just did the spiritual. I physically seen and know people who went away for a long time one way and converted to a certain religion, and their life was it was spiraling in a negative direction, and start to claim a certain religion and came back and are the most beautiful people. And it's amazing. You think about people that were in bondage, who were physically chained or physically had to be somewhere. They had to detach, and they found religion, and they were able to make it out of there, and with their right mind, and were able to prosper. So let it bring out the best in you, right? You don't have to be perfect, but if you're finding it later on in life, I think that that's a beautiful thing, because life beat a lot of us up. A lot of us can't handle this on our own, which helps you to be able to qualify things like, nope, that's not for me. Okay, oh, this works for me. I need rules, bro. My man told me, bro, when I was younger, he was like, Trey, you need guidance. You know what I mean? Like tell me I need guidance. But 20-something years later, it's like, man, this guy's family was in the church. He was a certain way, and he saw that I needed that type of direction, right? So, man, I'm just saying, man, listen, if you are spiritual, be somebody beautiful and spiritual. If you in a certain religion, be somebody beautiful in that. Just be a good person at the end of the day. Just to add to what you were talking about earlier, a lot of specifically a lot of Mormons, they talked about how a lot of Mormons who have been taught the Mormon lifestyle, when they would go out to people's doors and they would knock on doors, they said over time a lot of those guys, they change from that mindset, because you're meeting different people in different houses with different perspectives, and they're opening up your mind to be like, yo, you ever thought about this? And when they would think about it, they'll be like, oh, you know what I mean? I never thought about that. So just allow yourself to be flexible, even if you are in a certain religion. allow yourself to be flexible, and don't just condemn somebody because they don't worship the same thing that you do. I think that turns also a lot of people off.
For
right?
sure.
A lot of people, homosexuality. Oh, well, I got 2 homosexual friends. You saying I can't bring them?
Exactly.
So you get all these different things.
It is a now.
Yes.
I have a question for the listeners or the viewers. Do you consider yourself religious or spiritual, and why? Now, I personally think you can do both. I think you can be religious.
That's what I tried to tell you. You about to throw me out?
Nah, I'm just nah.
You looked at me like
no. I think you can be religious and spiritual.
A certain type of I wore a jacket to that.
Nah, like I say,
now I'm feeling like
who am I, dog?
How much?
Know what I'm
you
saying?
like my jacket?
Oh, that don't fly.
You like it?
Got blue on with that.
Let me tell you about this dude. This is how crazy we are. How we talking about religion? Hey, I showed this man a hat last week. Oh,
no, let me tell you. No, let me tell y'all what happened. Let me tell y'all.
So spontaneous. I just wanted something fly on the outfit. I'm like, yo, let me get my man one, right? Let me get my man one real quick. It wasn't nothing big. You know what I mean? We were working on things. I had a little something like, let me get my man one. What? Man, I showed this dude this hat. You ever text somebody a question or something and they don't respond? That means they don't want to hurt your feelings, right? I'm like, I waited for like 3 minutes.
Nah. Let me tell you what happened.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna tell you what happened. So, we got the read the room. We doing the read the room. So Trey had got excited, and he had found some hats.
I did,
and the hat say "read the room."
I got the hat made.
Oh yeah, got the hat made, and the hat says "read the room."
He hated it,
but it's not the logo.
Yeah.
So when I saw it in my mind, I had already thought in my mind, man, we gonna get some merch. We gonna have some hats.
This boy, that say "read the room." Be billionaires.
So when he showed it, I was just like, damn, it's not a bad hat, but I wanted it to be a logo.
Said, nah,
so you know how it is when you know how you don't really want. You try to think to yourself like, how?
Yeah, that ain't my style. I'm like, damn, bro. I think I'm a fly dude, bro.
You are.
I was about to get you a nice. I just wanted to get you something nice,
so let me tell you something.
And then you like, yeah, nigga, that's you, that ain't me.
But let me tell you something about fashion, right?
Nah, go ahead, bro.
You know Weekend, right?
Oh God,
one of the flyest dudes, right?
Ever.
But he'll wear stuff that to me look fly on him, but it wouldn't look fly on me.
Okay.
So something can be fly and wear something that I wouldn't wear.
I like how you brought that back. I like how you brought that back.
Hat and it fit him, but it wasn't really the hat. It's just that my thing was it said "read the room," but it wasn't the logo.
Right.
I just wanted something that had the actual logo for Brandon. That's all. Don't let him size it. You know what I'm saying?
No, my man, ain't he? This dude's smooth, man.
Don't let him size it, man.
Man, then he made me feel good. That's how it works, man. That's how religious and spiritual at the same time.
But no, we gonna close
home, dog.
We gonna close it like this. Whether you're religious or spiritual, Trey said it the best, man. Just try to, at the end of the day, try to be a good person. And if you have questions, just do the research. A lot of information is out here for you. It's a lot of false information, so you really got to do your research, but there's a lot of information for you. And until then, focus on being a good person, man. Follow us on Instagram and Read the Room. Follow us on TikTok and Read the Room. When you follow us on Instagram, there's a link in the bio. Click on the link in the bio. It'll take you to the YouTube page. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you like the pod, tell a friend to tell a friend.
Yeah.
And as I always say, everybody has a pod, but everybody isn't us. Till the next time.